All right, let's try. I think everyone's here now, so we can get started. All right. So for those of you who just joined us, go ahead and type your name into the chat. Tell us the role that you have with the IG group, and we'll go from there. So my name is Bentley Cavazzi. I've been with the organization for about 3 years, maybe a little more than that, but more or less 3 years. I was technically supposed to be the IG coordinator last term, but that didn't really happen, as some of you might know. I got pulled into another position, so I served as the treasurer or co-treasurer for the last more or less a year. The good news there is that financially we're looking a lot better. Things are, things are looking good. And right now I'm actually also helping them with putting the budget together. What appears to be the first budget or one of the first budgets for the organization. So all good news that should probably be presented to the board in December, I think, is when the first budget will be revealed as kind of a guiding principle to help us move forward and be financially sustainable. So I'm also the two coordinator. However, same thing, not so much in the last year due to the fact that my schedule kind of allows one position at a time, not multiples. But it is what it is. I am now doing it again. So I'll do this and I'll take care of two, teaching English in the workplace. Other than that, I've been teaching English or ESL for the last 6 years. I also teach German. German is my native language, and I think that's about it. Yeah, before this, I was in the business world for a long time as a director of marketing, VP of marketing, sales, and those kind of things. So have a hybrid background. So that's kind of my background. That's who I am. And let's introduce Daniela, who is serving as my assistant IG chair for this term. Hi, Daniela.
Hi, everyone, and I'm happy to be here today, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to be the assistant chair for the IG and to help Bentley around this year. So I'm originally from Romania. I was born and I grew up in Romania, and I taught English as a second language in Romania before I moved to the United States about 13 years ago. Currently, I work at the high school level. I work for a charter school. It's called Options for Youth. We serve students. It's a blended program. Our charter school, it's a public charter school, but it serves students from 9th grade to 12th grades. But it's based on credits, so we have ages up to 24. So we even have like. We have adult students in our program, but not many. The majority of the students are like a high school level, like from up to 18, 19 years old. So in Romania, I also taught ELD at the high school level, the secondary level. I have my master in TESOL, and my dream is to travel one day. But until I travel, I'm staying here in California, serving the ELD population the best I can. And then currently I'm the chairperson at the charter school I work for the ELD department. We have like our charter. It's under the Octon name, and then we have like 8 schools that we are serving under our region. So yeah, I think that's all about me right now, and I'm looking forward to team with Bentley and make like all the interest groups like connect and work together this year and engage each other in awesome activities and things that can make us be better.
Sure, great. Okay, thank you, Daniela. Why don't we just go through the group briefly, give a quick intro, who you are, what group you're with, and maybe a fun fact about you. So Kelly, let's start with you.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet some friendly new faces and to see some of you who are friendly older faces who I've known for a while. I am Kelly Metz-Matthews. I coordinate and teach in the Wright program at the University of San Diego, and I also occasionally teach in the community college system at San Diego City College. I am the Intercultural Communication Interest Group Coordinator, and I am just really happy to be here. Fun fact is I have gotten exactly 10% of the things done today that I need to do because tomorrow's the election and I can't concentrate. And that's all.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And since you brought it up, yeah, I figured today would be a great day for a meeting just to get your mind off the world for a few minutes, a few hours, not hours, a few minutes. But yeah. Okay, very good. Amanda, how about you?
My name is Amanda. I am the assistant coordinator of the Intercultural Interest Group with Kelly, and I'm excited to work with her for the year and working on that. I currently teach at San Diego State University, where I teach the writing classes for international students and students learning English. And I'm trying to think of a fun fact, and because all I can think of is the election. And I'm gonna say I own or I have adopted a disabled cat whose name is Scooch. Her back legs don't really work, and she has an Instagram that I manage. So there's my fun fact that's not related to the election.
Yeah, election's not fun. That's not a fun fact. Good. Is it Jadine?
It is Jadine.
All right, Jadine, your turn.
My name's Jadine Elvin, and I am the co-coordinator of the Teachers of Pronunciation group with Marsha. I am an assistant professor at Fresno State, so I'm in their Department of Linguistics. I'm their TESOL coordinator and second language acquisition teaching coordinator there. Over there as well, I recently started a second language, like a hub for language teaching and learning. So through that, we've been working on projects where we've created functional Spanish courses for emergency responders. We've also been working on a project where we're going to be teaching teaching community members how to teach language to their children and so forth. I guess a fun fact about me is that I am Australian, but I hate Vegemite. So that must make me un-Australian. So that's
Is that okay? Yeah.
It's disgusting, and yeah, apparently Australian.
So is it okay not to like if you're?
No, apparently I'm un-Australian for not liking it, but I don't like it.
Would you say it again? What is it that you dislike?
Vegemite. It's like this weird, disgusting, dry yeast spread that you put on toast, and it's just not nice.
Sorry about the dog, but yeah. Yeah, no, Vegemite. I learned about Vegemite when I was 11 from listening to Men at Work.
Oh, yes. It's definitely in that song.
That's how old I am, yeah.
We like to trick Americans and say it tastes just like Nutella. And so then they like pop it, like a whole lot of it on there. And it just, yeah, it's very, very salty. Yeah. It's not at all like Nutella.
All right, thank you. Cara, how about you?
Hi, everyone. I work for Refugee and Immigrant Transitions here in the home offices in San Francisco. I'm associated, we have collaborations, and one of them is Oakland Unified School District. So I used to teach in the classroom parent participation to adults there at it was like a newcomer high school. And it's called Oakland International High School. So now I'm still in the parent participation program, and everything is online. And it's interesting because a lot of my class has grown because a lot of the parents are moms who have children at home, or they have they come from a culture wherein the belief is the women should perhaps stay at home. And a lot of them are from like the Middle East and Eritrea, Ethiopia, Yemen, and Spanish speakers. So fun fact, I took up guitar, and I'm just really enjoying it. I mean, electric guitar in the blues. So that's, I don't know if I give off that vibe.
You do now. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it back here on my guitar. So yeah, we'll have a jam session built into the end of the meetings in the future. So
Sounds good.
a little bit of blues. All right, thank you. Thanks for sharing. How about Randall?
Hi, everybody. I'm another guitar player like Bentley and Kara. That's my fun fact. Lead off with the fun fact. More about me is I'm the newly minted assistant coordinator of Teachers of Pronunciation Interest Group with Marcia and Jadine. And my day job is I am a lecturer at UC Santa Barbara, where I teach undergraduate writing, graduate writing, and pronunciation training for international teaching assistants. Besides that, for many years, I've taught in other community college, ESL, adult ESL, IEPs, etc.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, Nicole.
My name is Nicole. I am the coordinator of the Material Writers Interest Group. Ryan is the new assistant coordinator. And I can't think of anything fun about me right now. I am currently at home with my 3- and 5-year-old who can no longer go to school or to preschool. And I'm really trying to be fun, but right now my mind is drawing a blank for the same reasons that have been mentioned that I will.
All right, Nicole, we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
I'll think of something fun.
All right, for tops. All right, very good. Thank you. How about Vanessa? Hello. Oh, you're still muted. Frozen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vanessa. I'm the new coordinator. Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, sort of.
Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay. How about another person speak to another place in the house and see if the internet is better?
Okay, we'll do that. We'll hop on over to Ingrid.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to lead with a fact. I just became a doctor of educational leadership on Friday, so I've been celebrating, and it's really exciting. My dissertation topic is online instructional design for language learning, so just complete matchup with what we're going through. And I am the online teaching coordinator. So the interest group is pretty active. We hosted a summer institute and a panel during the conference. And then what I've been working on in San Diego Community College District, I have taught 3 new classes to faculty on online course design and online instructional design. So I've been able to take my research for my dissertation and immediately start training faculty with the high demand for online teaching, training with our hundreds of faculty in our district. So anyhow, it's great to be here. And Bentley, thanks for coordinating this.
Of course. All right, thank you. How about we move over to Suzanne?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Suzanne. So I'm the TEL coordinator. I'm working with Kara and setting things up for this coming year. Right now, I am a consultant for an international education startup, and we are doing what's called COIL projects, which are collaborative online international learning projects, where 2 universities from different countries would have classes that would have projects that would interact with each other. So I help with setting up trainings for that and talking about the technology tools. A fun fact about me is that I have a twin sister, but we're not identical.
All right, great, thank you. And last but not least, I don't think this person needs an introduction. I don't think I missed anybody else. If I did, I apologize. And we'll come back to Vanessa in a moment. But Marcia.
Oh, hello. I might be one of the old faces around here. I've been in CATESOL for quite a few decades, and I have just been relieved of my duty as coordinator of the interest group, which was lots of fun, but now I must give it up to Bentley and Daniela. But I still am co-coordinator of the teaching of pronunciation along with Jadine, because I love doing the teaching of pronunciation thing. But really glad that Randy has joined us this year as our assistant. We put on a lot of workshops over the summer and over the spring, and ever since time began. And I suppose that will continue in this vein. I've also taken on a few other roles, which you might see me in if you are going to make an event happen, since now we have the CATESOL Zoom room and are able to host events for both our members and non-members as we like. So I do the event coordination and help promote the professional development. So when you folks are ready to have a meeting or have a workshop or do some sort of a get together with your interest group, I will be there helping you put it on the calendar or organizing your Zoom room. And if you like to do advertising through some sort of graphic image, then we can work on that and post it on our homepage of CATESOL and let everybody know, because a lot of times our interest group has something of interest to other people who are not necessarily members of the interest group, but the topic is appropriate. So don't think of yourself as only being with the group of people who have opted in, but also that you may find other people attracted to your exciting events.
Okay, thank you. We'll try.
And I'm a grandma, and I have a toddler who we were able to get down to nap. So that's why I'm kind of speaking in a smaller voice than normal.
Well, thank you, Marcia. Vanessa, let's give you one more try, and otherwise we'll just move on.
Okay. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Now we can. Yeah.
Okay, great. My name is Vanessa Quesada. I'm the new coordinator of the non-native language educator interest group. I'm really excited to be here. I teach ESL courses in a community college and also at my local adult ed school. And a fun fact that is not so fun, tomorrow I'm going to be evaluated by my dean and department chair. Every 4 years I get evaluated at the community college that I work at. So this meeting is kind of nice because it takes my mind off the evaluation that I have tomorrow.
Well, good luck on the evaluation.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So what I thought we'd do next is I just have a couple slides I put together just to get us to start thinking a little bit about how we put a plan together for our groups this year. Some of you have done this for a while, so I will open it up also to get your input and your thoughts and ideas because this is going to be a collaborative effort in terms of what we're dealing with this year. Yeah, so whether you're stressed because of COVID or the election tomorrow, or just 2020 because it's kind of sucked. That's how it is. And we can get through this by helping each other and working together as we try to promote the CATESOL offerings to our members. So I think for me, since we're all working towards the same goal, for me, the IGs represent an interesting component of CATESOL. And to me, it's really about the sustainability of the organization. And so what that means for me, of course, coming from the accounting side, is to keep in touch and to maintain the relationship with our members. We do that, of course, through our big events, but it's equally important to do it ongoingly and to keep the finger on the pulse and to be in contact with them in one way or another throughout the year, so that when we get together once a year, they really feel like it's not something new to them, but they're a part of it, right? So that's kind of my idea, and I'm sure many of you have similar feelings about it. So the question then is how? How do we do this? What are these points of contact? How do we keep our membership engaged? And mind you, I made this presentation before Halloween, so that will make sense in a minute. But the first thing I think I'd recommend is, if you haven't already and you're new to the IG groups, then make sure to read the job descriptions. And I will send out the links if you do not already have them, or I can put them in the chat as well. And I have the coordinator one. I don't have access to the assistant one, so maybe Marcia. Do we have one for the assistant role too? Does that sound familiar?
Yes, but I'm sure we do, but you can just add assist the coordinator in
all of the
number 1 and number 2 and
all right, very well.
etc.
Okay, so I'll send out the link if you need it, or I'll put it in the chat at the end of the meeting so that you have access to it. But just to review, especially for those of you who are new, you might not be quite clear on what am I supposed to do. And after you read it, if something doesn't make sense, reach out to us. We'll be glad to explain it to you as best as we can. And if I can't explain it, I'll reach over to Marcia and I'll ask her, because I know she can explain it. Anyway, that's the job descriptions. So how do we reach out? How do we stay in touch with our groups? Well, time has come to awaken the forgotten IGs. And that doesn't really pertain to the people who are here, because many of your IGs are relatively active, but there are a few that are not active, including Tu. Tu wasn't very active over the last year. And so how do we get these revived and brought back? Well, we can do that with some bright ideas, right? A little bit of sunshine and some good ideas to help us figure out how to get, I mean, we know how we're feeling right now. Imagine how all our members are feeling, right? Some of them are losing their jobs. Some of them are back in the classroom and stressed out. So whatever we can do to try to make their lives a little easier, the better off we are to keep them engaged. Yeah, so there, sunshine. So I thought what we might do between now and the next time we meet is to create an individual communication plan, right? And they're all going to look a little bit different, but think of the year ahead that we have. How are you going to reach out? What kind of things might you want to do in December and January and February and as we go through, right? And they can be different. They can be different types of things. And some of those might include things like this. Sending out a survey, all right? Usually at the beginning of the year, many IGs send out a survey to your group just to say, hey, I'm new and I'm going to run this group, and I'd like to meet you. I'd like to have an open discussion. I'd like to talk about your interests and see what it is that you want to hear about, or how we might be able to serve the needs of the membership. Now that sounds great. I know we've done that. I've done it. You've done it. Many of you have done it. And we get one response, right? Maybe we get 2 responses. If you get 6 or more, hey, you're doing great. But and that can be a little bit frustrating. So I think maybe one way that we can get through this is to put that communications plan together and just continue, be repetitive, send things out on a regular basis so that the membership starts realizing, oh, this isn't once every 6 months, it's on a more regular time frame. So that's one idea. Zoom events. I'm going to show you 2 slides earlier that Marcia just put up on the site. Having a little Zoom event, like a little mini lecture or mini discussion or talk. It can be any nature of things. You can have a presentation. You can have an open discussion with members on a particular topic. I think you can be creative in terms of what you want to do. But the important thing is offering something, right, with some lead time so people can sign up. Maybe it's sending out an article that pertains to your particular field, right? or maybe a blog post or a website that you found that's really interesting or inspiring to that audience that you could send out. Of course, upcoming conferences or other events that pertain to your field that you think will be interesting for them to know, you can send that out. And these are all touch points, right? So this is kind of this repetitive communication that you'd integrate into your ideas or your plan. If a great book comes out, articles, you can add those. And you could even just have an open conversation, like throw a discussion point out. Say, hey, next Friday, we're going to talk about this. Yay. And see who shows up, right? At least at the minimal, we'll have a plan and something in place that offers something to the membership, right? So that they can see the value in us and what we're offering them in terms of services. So, oops, wait. Cross promote. I know Marsha was just mentioning this. We can do some cross promoting, right? We're here to help each other. So if you have something that's really cool and you think that my TU group might be interested in it, send me an email and let's get it posted. You can post it on different sites, in different groups. If you think that it's something that can pertain to different fields, absolutely, right? Again, the more we increase our outreach and touch points, the better overall. At least I think the better, because you are keeping your membership engaged. Marsha has just mentioned she's running the homepage, and we can put slides up there. You can promote those. You can create little graphics. We have, I think Marsha has access to, if not everyone, the logos and the logo colors and the color templates that are required so that you match the correct colors, that we don't go into some crazy design. And of course, you can promote it on social media, either your own or you can run through the CATESOL Facebook page as well to cross promote it there. So the more we help each other kind of cross promote our events, instead of doing our individual things kind of in isolation, I think the better off we'll be in terms of getting the membership engaged and involved. I'm almost done. I'll open it up and we'll talk about it. But here's an example of the two flyers that we have up there right now. One is Nicole is having an event, I believe, on this Friday. And then I have one planned. It's not on the 6th. It's actually a little later in the month. It's on the 20th. And it's correct on the website. It just wasn't correct here. So we can put something together like this for you, or you can do it and send it off to Marsha. We have a small form you have to fill out, and she will even book the Zoom room for you to do that. But I think we'll need, what is it, Marsha, about 2 weeks notice?
First of all, let me unmute myself. Oh, so it's a good idea to have 2 weeks in advance. 1 week, it's a possibility. Here's what happens. There are actually 3 different modules that I have to go into in order to get all of this set up. And then I have to make sure that they connect with each other. And then I usually give it back to the organizers that, now you check it and see, put your eyes on it and see whether that all works out. So that has to happen. And we all know that everyone here is a volunteer. So we try to use whatever time we are able to do CATESOL things. So that will give us enough time. And also another important thing that some people forget about is advertising it so that you'll have people who come. I've been trying to help a lot of organizations or interest groups and chapters and so forth bring people into their events. There have been a couple of them that have had either 0 or very few people come in. And one of the reasons is because there's not enough promotion of the idea, because you may have a great idea, but if people don't know about it or they don't have enough time to book it on the calendar, then there's a smaller amount of people who can actually show up. So that's why I recommend that you do at least 2 weeks in advance. And also, if you have an idea for graphics, some of you do graphics, and you can just send me, I'll tell you, what the prerequisites are for the sizes, and you can send me the graphic. But a lot of you may say, I don't do graphic, I do words. So then I will help you try to figure something out and put something up for you if you'd like to promote your activity both visually and in a text format.
Ingrid just had a good question. Ingrid, do you want to ask a question, or I'll just read it off the? Go ahead.
So, Marcia, after we complete our Zoom request on the G form, when will we get confirmation of the requested Zoom meeting time?
Okay, so as soon as I'm able to get into that, then I send it out to you. So when you put in your request, I mean, we had a difficulty with doing this on a weekend when I was not doing CATESOL things. But when you send that in and there's enough time, that I will put all the parts and pieces together and send it to you and say, okay, I think it's ready. You check it out, see if you click and click and click, because you have to click on the calendar to make sure it goes to the event registration. And then the event registration should come back with the confirmation form. And the confirmation form should have on it the Zoom registration information. So whoever registers for the event will have that, the link to the Zoom. As soon as they register, they should get it. And usually what happens is the organizer does that, we figure it out if it works, and then you go like, boom, it's ready. And then you send it out to all your people. And then they can start registering.
Well, thank you for explaining all that. So it sounds like you don't just send out a Zoom link, that folks need to like register, even if it's a free session, right?
Oh yeah. So all sessions that we put up for CATESOL are through this whole system of event registration. They just register, and if they're members for most events, for almost all events except the special one that we had that you did for the Institute, it's $0 for a CATESOL member. And then for non-members, some groups decide to choose to make it free, and others will charge $2 for it or something like that. We've had a variety of things happen because we were just trying it out over the summer. I think it's $2 is like reasonable for somebody who wants to come in for a short little one-time only workshop, and it seems to have brought in a few shekels for our organization. And a lot of people have really been pleased to do that because they've come in from all parts of the world, in fact, in some cases, depending on what kind of presentation it is. If it's one where they feel like they can get some value out of it. Some of them, they're more discussion-like, or more just, let's share a glass of punch. Then, if those are all open to non-members free and members free, then that's a different sort of a thing. But if you're actually trying to put out something that you think, well, somebody can get their teeth in and say, hey, that's something I can use in my classroom, the $2 works for the members. So
that's a great suggestion. Thank you for that. We haven't thought of that. That's a good idea. Thanks.
So you guys haven't given me your new date, have you, for online teaching? Have you?
My understanding is Katrina submitted on the G form, the Google form, on Friday for 2 dates, November 13th and the second Friday in December.
Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I'll go back to see whether that's been redone, and I will look at it. November 13th is one of them, I see.
And then another one in December. It's possible she hasn't submitted for that yet.
I don't see that. I see a Bunsey.
Yes, Bunsey
for
is
the 13th of November. Okay, that should be no problem.
Okay.
And as soon as I get all those pieces, and like I had to go through a bit of, well, like training, to find out how these parts and pieces work.
I know.
And I kind of wondered about, why are they all separate? And it's because Memberleap actually is a very rich environment, and it pays back to you when you learn all of the parts and why they are separate, because different organizations want to do things in a different way. And they gave me all these examples of how, some organizations want to have it, we want to have it so that everybody can see it and everybody can enroll, and other groups may have only special people can see it and not everybody. And there's just a lot of different ways that we probably as CATESOL didn't think, why would anybody want to do that? Well, there are reasons why they want to do that. And so we just have to learn all the parts and pieces. And I've learned how to do them now. So I'm happy to say I will be happy to put those together. And you will definitely have your 13th of November, Friday the 13th. You're set up.
So I just wanted to add to
Okay. So
those-
that's 3 in November that we have. Oh, and also, Bentley, are you going to talk about how else we're going to be publishing this information?
I am right now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So actually, I just wanted to go through how simple Marcia has made this. So this banner idea that you're looking at, you can see my screen, right? Yes, no? Yeah, you see the rotating banner. So, you know, when you're being asked to maybe put something together to put up there, and you're like, I'm not a graphics person. Marcia has created this Google slide layout, and I think it's accessible to everyone, right, Marcia?
I haven't yet done that because
Okay.
I was fiddling around with various different kinds of templates, and I finally made it so that I put you on this one.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But point being is, you can even create your own and send it to either Marcia or myself. It's that simple. It's a Google slide, right? And so you really don't need a lot of information. You need a headline, you need a date and a time, and maybe a picture, right? The detail is still going to be in your short write-up or synopsis of the event. So it's really just about getting people excited and seeing, hey, there's something up new. And you fill this out, you close it. Marcia will have access to it. And then she goes ahead and she books the event here with the calendar date for you. And I believe the Zoom link's built into that, right?
So Zoom link is a separate thing. So I have to go back in there. I have to do these 3 different modules, and then I have to like make them talk to each other. So
Okay.
when I set up the calendar, it's one thing. Then I set up the Zoom room, and that's another thing. And then I set up the event, and that's another thing. And then I have to refer one to the other.
Got it.
It's kind
Sounds like
of
fun.
intertwined. It's kind of like us collaborating.
That's right. That's right. So another way to get the word out is, of course, using the message boards. And I know many of you are familiar with it. If you're not, I think last week we had a meeting where we went through it again and demonstrated how the message boards work. And I think it was very enlightening for everyone again to see it and how easy it is to send it through your email or through the MemberLeap system. If you are new and you're a little unclear on that, just send me an email. Let me know. I'll gladly set up a time with you to go through it and show you how to do it, how to send out communications. And if everybody wants it, of course, you're all welcome to come, but I don't think everyone needs that. But to show you how you can communicate through MemberLeap or through your email. And it records everything in MemberLeap. So you can go back and you can see what's been posted, as can the members. So that is the main tool that we use to communicate out to our groups. And finally, one of the things that I will be sending out at the end of the month, before the board meetings, probably about a week prior to each board meeting, I'll send out this form here. It's a Google form. And some of you have seen these. It's simply for you to provide a quick update on what is happening in your IG, fun and exciting new things that are going on that you want to share with us that we can report to the board. And that's it in terms of the slides, but I'd like to open it up to a general conversation about thoughts, concerns, challenges, things you'd like to discuss with the group right now as we look at getting ready for the next year.
Bendy, can you please share your slides with us, the ones that you just used?
Sure, I will send.
Thank you.
I'll send a PDF. How's that?
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Nicole.
And I have a.
Wait,
Go
not yet.
ahead, Vanessa.
I have
Finish
a-
up, Vanessa.
Yeah. How often? Yeah. Just one quick question. How often are our meetings? These meetings?
Well, that's open for conversation.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was thinking every week for about 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, not.
cruel to us on the day before the election.
A little humor, come on, a little humor. We can do a monthly meeting. We could have one longer meeting every 2 months. We could have a shorter meeting every month, or alternating, right? One long, one short. One just as a checkup, see how everyone's doing, some issues or challenges. If it needs to be longer, we can extend it. But maybe every 2 months we have one meeting that's kind of a roundup, at least an hour-long meeting that we can just touch base and go through things and help each other, which of course we'll be doing ongoingly through communicating through email and other forms. But okay, Vanessa, was that it?
Yes.
All right, Nicole.
Thank you.
So I have one, I don't know, marketing moment, and then I have a question. So I'll start with my marketing moment. One of the things I found last year with the Material Writers Interest Group is that I was not getting very much response using the message boards. You mentioned that earlier, but I found a lot of interest in workshops. And so now that I have this fantastic assistant coordinator by my side, Ryan and I are planning on doing these monthly workshops. And we wanted to get started right away. We have a ton of people, well, we have an impressive number of people signed up for the workshop on Friday. And we're going to be continuing this every month for the next year. And what we're hoping is that we will have both people who are already in the interest group present, but we'd also like to work with other interest groups. And Kelly and I have been posting on chat, and you might have seen this, you might not have, but I wanted to just say to all of you out there, please consider doing a joint workshop with us. We have some dates that we have kind of proposed as our monthly workshop date, but we are happy to adjust that with your schedules. But really, I think material writing can work with so much. Material writing for adults, material writing using technology, your material writing on pronunciation. So all of you, I think, if you're interested, there's definitely a way that we can come together and do a joint workshop. So if you're interested, let me know. I'd be really thrilled to work with all of you on something like that. So that's my little plug. And then I have a question, and that is, we had some technical issues at the CATESOL 2020 for our business meeting, and we weren't able to officially elect Ryan as the assistant coordinator, but he's really been already working a lot on it. So my question is just, do we need to have an official vote at the workshop maybe on Friday, or is it just move on?
Move on. Yes. You just grab it right away, put him to work ASAP, is my opinion.
Yeah, he's already jumped in, so he is hard at work. So great. Okay, onward. Thank you. That was.
If you'd like me to send an email welcoming him, let me know.
Well, he's already oiled and greased through all the OT coordinatorship.
Good. Yeah. No
email. A lot of sessions. So that's great.
Well, I love the idea about collaboration that Nicole brings up. I think all of us can find a way to connect with that group quite easily, but of course with pronunciation as well. So I think there's lots of crossover, and maybe we put that on the agenda for the next meeting to brainstorm some crossover ideas. Obviously, we can do some preliminary work to talk to each other and figure that out. But maybe the next meeting that we do have, we actually put our communication plan together for each group, and then we'll make one master document where we can kind of see what we're all doing. Sound like a good idea? Okay, a couple thumbs up. Yeah, some nods. Good.
I put into the chat the link to the form. So when you guys are ready to put together a meeting of some sort, just put in your information in that Google form.
Okay.
And then I get a ping saying, oh, somebody has just submitted something. And then I'll go and work on it. And I'll contact you if I have any questions about, do you really want to do that? Or can't you flesh this out a little more? Or what does XYZ mean? You know, something like that. And then we'll, you know, get it put together. So one more place that promoting your event can happen is in the update, which goes out to all the membership. And see, here's another thing. All of us are board members. And that's one of the things that some coordinators of interest groups and other groups didn't realize, that they were on the board. Yes, you are a board member. Now there are voting members and non-voting members. And so we are non-voting members, but our voice is heard. So I want to say that, you know, like I've been a member of the board in some sort of way for a long time. And even though I wasn't a voting member during some periods of time, I opened my mouth and I said, I think this would be a really good idea. How about we work on the policies? And how about, you know, like, and, you know, if it's reasonable and people like the idea, then it'll go forward. Not everything that we do in the organization is done on a vote. I mean, there's some things that we are, I guess, by official bylaws we have to do, like we have to vote in certain officers. But other things is just by, you know, like, does it sound like a good idea? Okay, yeah, let's do it. So consider yourself a board member. And when you get the member board, the 2020 to 2021 Board of Directors emails, which you should get because all of us are on the board, then it'll, you know, we'll be asked our opinion for a lot of things, and we'll be invited to the meetings, which occur every, I don't know, how often do they occur? Once a month?
Once a month, yeah.
Yeah, once a month, and it's usually just a 2-hour thing
2
on
hours.
a Friday.
I believe it's December 6th, but I'll send it out. I'll send out the date.
So they're on the, yeah, and the calendar is already worked out for all of the meetings for the board on these Fridays, certain Fridays along. And I'm sure we got the list of it. And I just went through my calendar and went boom, 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 put everything down. So that's what I recommend you do if you do calendars.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, also about, you know, like if you are going to make your own graphics, please contact me because there are some particulars about it. I did put together a template, and it's not the same as a normal Google. Like if you open your Google Slides, and you'll get ratio of 4:3, or you'll get a ratio of 16:9. So the ratio that we're using on the website, I didn't set it up, is a little bit different. And so I figured that if I made the template to fit that, it would be a lot easier to work with to get the final. I mean, we create it there, and then we can get the final, you know, image and do the necessary dimensions and put it up there more easily. So all of those things. And also, I also wanted to say about Facebook groups. So Top Intel have had Facebook groups for a really long time. And recently, who did I help put together one? Oh, non-native language educators issues, NNLEI. We just put that one up recently. And do we have intercultural now?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We did ours couple months ago.
Okay, cool. So another thing that I like to do, because I do some graphic stuff, is I made graphics. So there's a sort of like a standard graphic using the approved colors. And if you want that graphic, I'll be happy to send it over. And then you can see whether it fits your needs.
I have a question.
Yes, Cara.
I'd like to know if I saw the registration form that we fill in, and it's quite good. I'm wondering if one needs to cancel. Could you put that on the form as well, so it wouldn't be or someplace easily recognizable? I only say that because it happened to me. I was called in to do something. I can't say no.
Yeah, that's okay. Now, it's better for you, because what happens, I'll get a ping when somebody puts in a new thing. But, and I know that you get the way I made the form is that you can go back and edit your form, because sometimes you go like, oh, I forgot to put in blah, 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 and then you go and fix it. Or I'll tell you, look, you're hardly telling me what this thing is about. Can you flesh it out and give me a description? And then you go, and then I'll go back in there and pull it out. But if you have to cancel, it's better if you just email me. And then I also put some notes in it to myself, like, I uploaded this one on such and such a date, or this person said they can't really do it on this date, so waiting for future dates. I think that happened with Pell, right? So yeah, better if you let me know, and that's okay. You know, stuff happens. We're all volunteers. We do what we can the best we can.
Right.
And we all get paid the same amount of money.
I'd like to know if right now it's like I just joined and tomorrow's voting, but you know, voting's going to come around again. Do we take, do we support certain issues, and can we, you know, like, does CATESOL support certain issues? Is that something to bring before the board?
Yes, of course. There are certain issues that have come before the board and that the board discusses. For example, in the summer months, we put together a paper on social injustice, diversity, and that came up because people are like this, what can we do about it? And so there's a task force on that then we created a task force on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I guess what I'm after is marketing and things that we can, again, have touch points on. And that would include like a blurb like, thank you for voting, or CATESOL recommends, you know, vote for these issues. And just a one-liner, something that's flashy and keeps getting things that we can put before the membership.
Well, I think that the perfect place to bring that up would be at a board of directors meeting. And when Susan puts out a call for the meeting, she will put out an agenda that is a Google Doc. And she will request that if you have something that you think needs to be agendized, you can either add it or you can consult with her and see if this is sort of a thing that the board of directors of CATESOL should bring up. So there are some issues that, you know, can be handled in that way. And sometimes she'll say, no, this is not a CATESOL organization wide issue. Or sometimes she'll say that is an issue for the CATESOL Foundation. Now, do you know about the CATESOL Education Foundation? That is a non-profit organization associated with ours that Margaret Teskey put together some years ago. And that's the one that can receive donations. So those of us who donate money to CATESOL don't donate directly to CATESOL.org. We donate to CATESOL Education Foundation, which then funds a lot of our projects. For example, I think bought the Zoom room, paid for a lot of the awards, all the awards, the teachers awards, like Nicole, you're an award winner, right? So those are all done through the CATESOL Education Foundation. So these are two organizations, the not-for-profit one and the non-profit one. Is that how I do? Something like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Kelly too.
Thanks,
We
everybody.
have some smarties here.
So I'm looking at some of the messages in the Zoom and in the chat. So in terms of a meeting, I'll send out a form to take a look at some dates for our next meeting. I would say probably the first week of December, right after maybe right after Thanksgiving and between the first week of December, not much later, because yeah, it's the holiday season for many, and there's going to be even more things to worry about. So yeah, hopefully good things. Hopefully good things. Just send me back some dates. We'll try to find a date that works for everybody. If this is a good time, Mondays at 3, great. We'll just try to keep that because, yeah. I didn't know that Monday at 3 would be great, but it turned out to be pretty good. So, yeah, and we'll try. I know I got some emails from people who couldn't attend today, but they'll try to be here for our next meeting. So as a follow-up, I'll send out an email with the presentation, and I'll also put a little outline together for our next meeting for us to start brainstorming and seeing how we cross-collaborate and mix things into your little communication plan. If you can maybe think of 6 to 7 items that you could do at a minimum for this term for your interest group, that'd be great. Some of you will do a lot more. That's wonderful. But if we could all do maybe at least 7, that'd be great. I just made that number up. 7 sounds good. 7.5. I don't know. 7. Okay. Is there anything else? Otherwise, we can adjourn the meeting. And
Thank you.
yeah, thoughts? Well, it's a pleasure meeting all of you, and I really look forward to working with you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Thanks, Bentley, Marcia, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.
See you.
Happy election day.
Yeah.
Stress-free election day.
Yes, safe election day.
Well, let me turn off the recording and then